What's up, everybody? How you doing? This is the Front Door Show. It is actually 10 minutes before we start normally, but because I'm here talking to my guest today, DJ Malo, Rich Morales, he has a lot to talk about because he has a history. I've known him for quite a while, but before we go into, me talking about it, why don't you introduce yourself and who you are and any kind of links and stuff like that. While you're doing that, I'm going to create the watch party. Go ahead, talk to them.
Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Rich Morales, aka DJ Malo. Been DJing for a long time. Matter of fact, 43 years, and still going. And still going. I'm trying to find your link on your.
Go to Four Fantastic Events, the business page. So we already got about 4,000 people.
Damn.
Yeah, did you get it?
I only see the previous. I don't see the live.
Yeah, if you go to the Four Fantastic Events, not the group page, but the business page.
Oh, there it is. All right, cool.
All right, there you go. See, so you could go ahead and create the watch parties and stuff like that, and I'll do the same thing as well. Yeah.
And man, so yeah, like I said, been DJing for about 43 years. Been to many places that some of you young guys don't even know.
Well, that's why we're here, because you're gonna let us know, right?
Yeah, and matter of fact, Angela, I was just like, working on this for a while, and I got like about 5 pages of stuff that, 43 years is a whole bunch of lots of ups and downs and things I've seen and things I've heard, and it's just crazy and it's pretty wild. The places I've been, the events I've done, the fights and brawls that I've witnessed.
Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to Boogeyman and Animax, and we were just talking about, what was the wildest fights we ever seen in the nightclub, and we all got our doozies, So, that was it. It was just they were talking about, and then a couple of things, like that we're just reminiscing and stuff like that. And this is why we're doing this and stuff like that. But let's get to the heart of the question, Rich. How did you get started doing what you're doing? I mean, where did it start for you 43 years ago? How did
Well, I graduated from Holy Trinity in 1979. I'm showing my age, so hey. I graduated from Holy Trinity, and which was all a boys' school at the time. And across the street was a Holy Family, and it was an all-girls school. Now it's co-ed, so I was like, damn, it should have been like that in the past. But anyway, we had a lot of dances at Holy Trinity and at Holy Family. And I started, looking at a DJ now, and you always used to be there. And this guy was my idol. I mean, he brought his stuff in, a couple of times. Hey, you need a hand? Yeah, we'll help him bring his stuff in, speakers and stuff. And I don't know if you guys know this guy, but he was the boss. He was the man of all men. And I'm going to mention his name, and I'm going to see how many of you remember this guy. He had 2 turntables at the top, a lot of knobs on the bottom here. It wasn't even like now. We have 1200 mixer board, none of that. Yeah, there was a box, lights around the box. We had a few, outside lights, and right on the top, it said "Sweet, Sweet Sugar Ray."
Yep.
I don't know if you guys remember him. but that was my idol. I mean, he was just like, the boy was badass. He's
just not to cut you off, but he was the first DJ I seen at the Blessed Agnes dances. That was the first DJ that I seen ever when I was, I think, 6th grade or 5th grade. But Sugar Ray, yep.
Yes, Sweet Sugar Ray. And till this day, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he's passed or I've been trying to find out if, but that's so long ago and no one knows whatever happened to him. So at least, the network that I go through is, I don't know if he's still alive or passed, but he introduced me to a lot of music in that era, the 70s. Back then it was the disco funk music, Parliament, Cameo, and most of all, which is my forte, and I love to do it, and I love to play it. As you can see in the background, but these are more up-to-date versions. Dusties. I call them Dusties, and back then it was called Dusties. Nowadays, a lot of guys call it oldies. Oh, those are oldies. Yeah, in your genre right now, yeah, they're oldies. But back in the day, they were called Dusties. Dusties were you got your basement parties, your attic parties, the black lights, you talk about the Delphonics, the Dells, the Intruders. Man, I can just go on and on. The originals. It's just that music till this day is still alive and kicking, and I won't let it die. And then after him, another DJ, a radio DJ, and my sister-in-law calls me. A version of him is Richard Peggy. I don't know if you remember Richard Peggy. He used to play a whole bunch of Dusties, and, back in the day. And of course, he's, God rest his soul, he passed. But my sister-in-law calls me Richard Piggy. So because of the connection that I had with him and with the music.
Hey, Richie, if I can ask you, please lower the music in the background because it's interfering with, sorry about that. Yeah, just every so often you hear a squeaky and I guess people can't hear you that well.
All right, that's better. Yeah, I was hearing it too.
Yeah, it come out squeaky and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, just part of the acoustics in the room. So after you were into these guys were your idols, when did you get your first turntable? When did you first,
So, here, like I said, I had that list here. So I'm gonna start out, back in the 70s, and also too, back in the day, like I said, I graduated in 79 and then WCYC, everybody back in Little Village, Pilsen, whenever you can get a real good connection. We used to listen to CYC with Magic Wand, and I grew up with Magic Wand, and he was the same way, playing the Dusties, and then right after that, that's when I can remember where, the 1200s and, all the technique stuff wasn't out yet. It was just barely getting out. So I compromised and remember, I don't know if you guys remember these box sets where it was a turntable, a cassette player, and a radio all in one. It's just a little stereo. And what I did was somehow I rigged both. I had two of them. And what you had to do was put a cassette in the cassette player, put it on pause and hit play and record on both of them, which will connect to each other. So you can play one song, you be a close and play DJ. You play one song, and then right after that one, you play the other one. And then that's how. There was no mixing involved. It was just play the songs, the songs. And of course, you get the family. Oh, come on, you can DJ for me. You can DJ for me. You can DJ for me. And that's how started it. I went to Goldblatt's in the basement in 26th Street, picking up 45s. Albums if you could afford it back then. And like the other DJs, you go out there and you tell the person behind the counter, hey, let me know when this is coming out, or send me a copy because I wanna have it for my collection. And it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild. And so yeah, and then after that, around late 70s, early 80s. My good friend, still my good friend, Danny Gonzalez. He's a Cook County sheriff. So him, this other guy named Joe Lopez, God rest his soul, he passed, and myself, we created DJ Productions. We started out DJing together, house parties, and in Joe's attic, we used to have attic parties. Those were the daytime attic parties where people used to skip school and go by Joe's house. Everybody, go up 3 flights of stairs into the attic. It was packed. It was packed. Hot.
What area of Chicago were you living at the time? Or was this?
I was in Chicago, Pilsen area, a little village. So right off 25th and Christiana.
Okay.
Right by Farragut High School.
Okay.
And I was on the end. And what was so weird was where I lived, right off of 25th and Christiana, there was a funeral home right on the corner. And it was a big lot, and then my house. And I used to tell people, hey, where do you, they asked me, where do you live on 25th and Christiana? Oh, you live by the funeral home? You live by the funeral home? Yeah, I did. I used to live by the funeral home. So. And it's pretty wild, and I can get to that later. There's a lady that I've known for many, many years. Her name is June. Great person. And we lost connections. And then when I started getting into the Tejano scene, we ran into each other, and it's like, oh my God, you're still DJing. And I'm like, yeah. And it was great. Yeah, it was great. And I'll get to that later. But yeah, once we started DJing,
So you're doing house parties and mobile, basically mobile, right? You were kind of.
Yeah, mobile.
Okay.
And I hate to say it, the bitch part is, of course, bringing the equipment down and bringing the equipment back into the house. Imagine carrying, I don't know if you DJs would know, Servant Vegas or PVs, SP1s, carrying those things from the car up 3 flights of stairs to the attic to put the stuff away, and vice versa.
Basically a wooden coffin.
Exactly. If you guys know what those are, if you don't know what they are, Google it.
Heavy as fuck.
And that's just, and then all the crates of records,
Yep.
We tried to improvise so much as we could. So we used to get foot lockers, those army foot lockers, and put your vinyl in there.
Right.
So we carry like 4 or 5 of those full of vinyl.
Oh,
And
Jesus Christ.
so it's like, instead of carrying, individual milk crates, where you used to go to Jules and snatch the milk crates from in the back. Yeah, it was all right, but then until the weight was too much, and then the bottom fell out, and then so it was crazy. It was crazy. So yeah, and then myself and Danny kept it going. Joe was mainly a musician, so he was a guitar player, and he said, "Yeah, you guys go ahead and do it. You go do it." And we landed up on Archer and Keeler, a place called Gold Key. It was right on the corner of Archer and Keeler. Fabulous place. I mean, it had, you walked in, you had the long bar, and then on the opposite side was the dance floor. But the dance floor was little raised, and it had the lighted dance floor, like the Saturday Night Live,
Right,
or
right.
not Saturday Night Fever dance floor. That's how it was. And it was like, man, this place is bad. Back in the day, this is badass. The lights were all, moving all over the place. People were dancing and stuff. And there was, of course, and that was one of the hippest places. And lined out the door, waiting to get in.
So what kind of music, Mike, what kind of music were you playing at the place?
Like Cool in the Gang, Cool in the Gang, dance music, hustle music. And now when I say hustle music, that is like Voyage, Franjolet, Cerrone, Love and Kisses.
Yeah, because that was kind of the other factor of disco was hustle dancing, correct?
Right.
This is just so that people who are listening who don't know, just in case, I know, but I just wanted to reiterate that.
I'll go way back, bro.
I know.
And people are like, hustle music. Yeah. Same thing, Google it, dance, Google dance fever. You'll know what it means. You'll see it.
You mean Danny Terrio?
Danny Terrio, dance fever.
Yeah. So only people over 50 would kind of know all that. So sorry about that. So.
There's people who are saying, man, this motherfucker is old.
Well, I mean, just to not sidetrack, make sure you keep that story, but just to give you an idea, that's what like Al Cisneros, that's what we're talking about, that he started hustle dancing, and that's how he met Jenny, his dance partner. So hustle was huge, man. That was the hustle contest. That was huge. You couldn't go into a nightclub or discotheque. Excuse me.
Discotheque. There you go.
You couldn't walk into a discotheque without having hustle music and people, and they were the stars of the night. The couple, the hustle couple. That would
I look at it. Now how people dance salsa and merengue. It's just almost the same thing, but back in the day.
Well, and since you made that comparison, that was kind of why salsa took off the way it did, because it had the resemblance of hustle, and it was, believe it or not, I'm going to go back to a little history. When salsa was created, when I mean salsa, meaning the dance style of it, was because people like hustle, and they they like the jazz aspect of salsa music, and I call it their brother term, salsa music. So that's how they figured out, oh, let's dance this way, because it's a hustle style to the actual Latin music. So that's where the salsa dancing came from. Basically, in that era, which were like 50s and 60s, it was the hustle aspect of that Latin music. So what you're seeing, and where did hustle start at? New York, right?
Right.
That,
Studio
and so-
54. Studio 54.
well, but that was the cousin of all the salsa dancing that they were doing. And because of the salsa dancing, and if you see the old Palladium videos, you see the hustle dancers dancing salsa or salsa dancing hustle. And it kind of worked out that it just said that. So when it came to Chicago, as far as discotheques and stuff like that, that's what you had. You had every place saying, "Oh, those are the dancers. Those are the, you know." But just go ahead. So go ahead.
Hey, go ahead. No, it's
No. But I'm just saying because that's why I know the connection, and that's where, you know, and honestly, that's why I fell in love with the music and per se, you know, as far as going in that direction. But it all was disco at the time, disco and funk.
yeah.
So you're playing at this. Was it a discotheque or was it just a lounge that you were playing at? The place on Archer and Keeler.
The Gold Key was a lounge.
Okay.
So, but I mean, yeah, I mean, we played everything, you know, from clear to man, oldies, you know, I shouldn't say oldies, dusties, you know, and we had different nights there too, where we played the rock and stuff, and like on a Thursday night, and then or a Wednesday night, and then right there on Archer and Pulaski was Miami Bowl. So a lot of Thursday night bowlers used to, you know, the ladies, it was the ladies' night. So they would come from the bowl, that bowl, and come from the bowling alley and come on down and, you know, have a few cocktails before they went home. And it was nice. It was great. It was great. But even going way before that, I need to mention some of the old lounges, discotheques, or whatever you want to say. And like I said, so many people may know these places, so many people may not know. But there was Zach's on Cicero Avenue.
Yep.
The Latin Village on 26th Street.
Mm-hmm.
Kukula's.
26 in Central Park.
Yeah. Just, Central Park. The Presidente on Central Park.
Yep.
What else? Kukula's on Cicero and just past 63rd, I believe it was. A lot of dances at Wozniak's.
Yep.
On Blue Island. And then I did the North Side thing, you know, Rush Street. I was in Hang Ups, Mothers, PS Chicago, the Rookery.
But this is that wasn't during this time that you were doing the Archer, right? This was
no. This is before that. This is
okay.
before
Okay.
that. Shenanigans, and then after the Gold Key, you know, it closed down and stuff, and that's when we came into the Malo days. The Malo days.
And that's when I first met you at
Right.
Malo, right?
Yeah, you were just a little teeny bopper back then.
I was
You were young.
I was 15 years old. And I don't know if you know, I actually did. Someone else brought me in. It wasn't me walking in. DJ Ozzy brought me in.
Oh, okay.
Remember Ozzy?
Yes.
Oswaldum?
Yeah.
That was, and Ozzy actually got the job. I don't know if you remember. And you were DJing there with somebody else as well. It was you and you had a partner that was DJing with you.
That was Danny Gonzalez.
So when did Rick come into? Asian Rick?
Rick Long, yeah. God rest his soul, he passed. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. And he came after, maybe about a year after that.
Because me and Rick, Rick became really close friends. I don't know if you know, I lived with him for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I lived with him for a little bit because his parents had the Chinese restaurant right on Cermak Street right there.
Right.
And
California.
right, and Rick was a phenomenal bowler. You remember that? He was a phenomenal bowler. Yeah, he was like up there in the bowling thing. And I want to believe it was a point in when I turned 16, I decided to leave my house and to live on my own, and discovered real quick that it was tough. So I think that's where I stayed with Rick for, it was like maybe about 4-month period. You know, I didn't touch any alcohol, and I don't think Rick was a drinker as well and stuff like that. But we were into music.
No, he was. I mean, he was, but not,
right.
going crazy or being stupid or anything like that.
So how did you land a job at Malo then?
Well, we went in there and I met Jimmy and Johnny.
Okay.
I met Jimmy and Johnny, and plus, there was a lot of coppers that used to go in there, and I know a lot of coppers. So, and they threw my name out. And, yeah, come on in. Let's, and see what we could do. And of course, Danny and I went in there and did our audition and played what we played. And I'm like, okay, you got the job. I'm like, sweet. And to show you that, with the music they wanted to hear, Dusties, I had, thanks to my brother, my brother Mike, he's a big Dusty collector, and he introduced me to the Dusties. And my dad introduced us to Norteña music. And I'll get into that a little bit later, because just like you, when I was listening to your sessions here, come Saturday morning, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, my dad would just put on his records, blast the hell out of it, and wake us up. Come on, gotta clean the house. Let's go.
Yep.
So, he started playing the, Ramon Ayala's and Tigres del Norte and, Vicente Fernandez and
all the classics.
Oh yeah. And he always played this album. And when he passed, I did a video thing for him with his pictures and stuff, and I played that album on there. And it was Cal Jader, Mambo with Jader.
Yep.
And my brother till this day has that album, and it's a red album. And I'll get it from him one day. He won't give it up, but I'll get it.
So isn't it strange, and not to cut you off, but just it kind of strange that they knew that mambo music back in the days, which I find amazing, even though they were from Mexico, or they were raised in a very Mexican culture, but I guess mambo was very influential in that scene, or I should say growing up. I don't know if you heard, my great uncle had passed, and we had the funeral today. And when we went into the funeral home, I seen Moroccan and claves there, it displayed. And all my cousins would tell you, I was kind of like, why the Moroccans and why the clave? I'm like, the last thing I was thinking about my uncle. And my dad, who grew up with him, and when I say grew up, because my great grandfather raised my dad, and that was kind of his like a little older brother. It's technically his uncle, but it was older. And he says, "No, man, he used to listen to Perez Prado, and he would do all the instruments with it and stuff like that." So I looked it up on YouTube and I played it, the Cherry Blossom, whatever it was, the classic one. And I played it at the where we're there at the funeral home, and everybody right away everybody like,
Yeah.
yes, that's the
That's
your uncle.
it. Yeah,
That's
they
it.
recognize the music with the person.
Yep.
It's pretty wild. I mean, it's pretty wild, you know, how people get tagged with a certain song, you
Yep.
know, and everybody around them knows, oh, that's his song. That's his song. That's yeah. So, and you know, my dad had a few of them. You know, he had Chapel of Dreams by the Doves, and his favorite one, and all the family knows, is What Does It Take to Win Your Love From Me by Junior Walker and the All Stars. And once they hear that, they recognize that's my dad's song, and it's just, until this day I still play it, you know, and it's just, you know, I you know, I carry my dad's picture with me when I DJ, so he was another person that influenced me to, you know,
Nice.
listen to music. I mean, you know, the love of music is just not just to listen to it; it's just to have a passion for it. And
Well,
yeah,
I think what you're saying, that when we go, somebody's going to say, "Hey, that's his song. That's the one he listened to. That's the one that everybody knows." And I think that carries on to our, you know, our legacy and what's going to happen from, you know, going forward. And I think just like your dad and my uncle and stuff like that, they have their legacy is that. And seriously, when I played it today, both my second cousins, I mean, their faces, even though we had our mask on, we could see in the eyes, they were like, "Oh my God, you're," you know, and they didn't even know I was going to play it. So when I, you know, just to see that family member's eyes like light up, like, "Yep, that's him. Oh my God." And, you know, and that's stuff you remember as a child. That's
yeah,
what your dad did. So I'm sure that's where, you know, I'm sure that's where the music comes personal. You know,
right,
when you're playing it, it becomes personal. It's what you're playing is what you have in your heart. It's just not what you hear.
exactly.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I
Oh
totally
yeah,
understand.
trust me, I know, and it's, you know, when I DJ, you know, and I listen very, you know, as a DJ, you need to listen very well, you know, not because what you want to play is what the people want to hear or what they know, and people that know me and that I've DJed for, they know that, oh, he's gonna play my song, he's gonna play my song, he's gonna play my song, because like you said, you get tagged with that one song, and I have, you know, many people that I tag a song to, and they, you know, jump up off of their seats, and that's my jam, that's my jam. Oh, that's my
Cindy just said it. Cindy Morales, you just said that. That's my song.
that's my song. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my brother and Cindy. Yep, straight from the heart. See,
Yeah.
function. Well, oh man, I could go on and tagging people uh, with songs, and this, you know,
Yep.
you know, my cousin Tighten Up, and you know, this is, you know, it goes on and on and on, and but yeah, but going back to the Malo days, oh my God, Angelo, man, you should know, where you know, people used to ask us, you know, when you walk in, you're walking in 8, 9 o'clock, and you have a pair of sunglasses hanging from your shirt or on your head, and or in your pocket, and people go, you know, they ask you, why you wearing sunglasses? It's dark outside. You know, it's 9 o'clock at night, and they never realize that you're going in there when it's dark. By the time you get out, it's five,
Daylight.
5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So you just pull them out, put them on, and then
Yep.
people realize, oh, no, I know.
Yes, yes. I remember that. So many days of that.
So, I mean, Miles is a great place. I mean, you know, Jimmy and Johnny, you know, to this day, uh, I stay in touch with them, you know, uh,
Nice.
you know, poor Johnny, he has dementia. So,
that's sad.
yeah. But Jimmy, you know, he's still on 26th Street running his pizzeria over there. Before it was a lot.
It's called Black Hole. Yes.
And it was right there by what used to be Zares and in between Jules. You know, if you guys, that mini mall area off of 26th and I don't know, was it St. Louis? I don't know.
It was discount mall. It was discount mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And,
what I really enjoyed about Malo's that I remember being, and not so much that me being there, but I remember that Jimmy and Johnny, I guess they were innovators in a sense of doing multiple things there. It wasn't just Friday and Saturday. They had a Sunday, they had a Wednesday, they had a, you know, different days, Mondays, they were doing something every day. I think and to have a place, do something different and be successful. I mean, I remember every day was kind of busy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
so I remember on Friday, you know, coming in that Friday, you know, getting ready, going in there at 8 o'clock at night, you know, getting things set up and everything, and DJ till 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, set it down for a couple of hours, and then go have some breakfast or menudo, whatever, and turn around and come right back. It's just, that's how it was. I mean, this is the party mode.
So what do you remember the different nights? Let's see if my memory is correct on your memory. What did they have on Friday? What did they have on Saturday? What did they have on Sunday? What did they have on Thursday, Wednesday? Do you remember any of the?
Well, Friday and Saturday, of course, was the dance nights. You know, you had, you know, the dance music, and it was packed. You know, at first it was just the one bar right on the corner, and then eventually they bought the building next to them, and they opened the wall up.
Okay, wait. So you were there prior to the other room?
Yeah.
Oh my God! So where was the DJ booth at when it was there? Where was that at?
It was somewhere in the corner. It's like, you know, it was somewhere in the corner. It was just, you know, it was just a bar. And I don't know how far you remember it. It was a bar, and then before they put there was the pool table, and then behind the pool table was just an empty space before they put the lounge chairs in there.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, and then they extended it to of course, the next building, and then of course the Crow's Nest DJ booth.
Right. So what was the building before? It was where they bought it.
The empty building? I think it was just empty. I think it was just empty, or
no.
That or it was a mattress place. I can't remember.
No. It was a car repair shop before.
What? Oh, okay.
Oh
yeah. That's right. Right, because the back wall they had to brick up because it was open.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. They had to brick up the back wall.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. I see. I don't remember what that was.
Well, only because I asked Johnny about it. I asked Johnny actually when I was there one day. I asked Johnny. I go, what was this before? Because to me, it looked like a garage. I mean, it really looked like a garage. And if you remember, on the ceiling, there was the railings still there from the garage.
Yeah.
It was still there. So
Yeah,
remember, that was where the stage was, where they had the stage. It had the railings where I could see it was the garage door, you know, the railings to open the garage door, but they didn't have the garage door there anymore. So
right.
That's why I brought it up. Hey, what was here before? And that's when he told me it used to be a car repair or truck repair shop or something like that. So
yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah. But like I said, you know, and you of all people would know, Malo's was the bomb. That was the place to go. I mean, that and Pink Dow on Cullerton, and Papa Smurfs. that was another place, a booming place. And of course, you know, back then, people, you know, people go there, they had a good time, have a few drinks. And I know a lot of people, like Joe and Diane, they met there and now they're married, you know, and, you know, a lot of people have met there and of course, you know, they got married and who knows if they're still married or not. Yeah, it was a hip place. That was.
Well, I know there was like other little lounges, but all those places closed at 2 o'clock, and then everybody used to be there to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. That's why.
Well, we had the 2 o'clock license, but you know, 2 o'clock. Okay, draw the blinds, put a little cardboard in the windows, and you just kept going and locked the door. Whoever's
Malo's had the 5 o'clock though.
just on Saturday, not on Friday.
Okay, I won't. I don't remember it only being to 2 o'clock on a Friday. I thought it was open always to 4 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning.
on Saturday, back in then, and 5 o'clock was the
Only Saturday?
yeah.
Okay.
And
Maybe
No.
I didn't notice because the music kept on going past 2 o'clock.
but see, that was just it, you know.
I
You
just-
know,
I just
come,
assumed-
come, you know, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. This just happened. You know, we're in party mode.
Well, also because Johnny and Jimmy had a lot of cop friends too.
Exactly.
So that was, you know, nobody was shutting down the party or anything like that. And if there was any issues going on, they would come and talk to Johnny and Jimmy. So they would resolve it right then and there. And it wasn't like that we had nefarious people in the place or anything like that. He just like, hey man, you know, you gotta, it's let's say a neighbor complaining or something like that. They addressed it right away.
Right.
So,
And yeah, and like I said, and back then, you know, everybody knew everybody,
Yeah.
you know. And if it was a fight, it was because it was a verbal fight. It was a verbal fight, you know, and maybe a couple of pushing, but no big brawls.
oh, you cheated on the pool game.
Yeah. You cheated. You owe me $5. Yeah.
Fast Eddie, beat me again.
Exactly. Oh, he's a hustler.
Yeah, he is. He was a hustler.
I'm not saying.
By the way, he taught me how to play pool. Seriously, he taught me how to play pool.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know if you know, just a side story. I used to sometimes get there earlier than I was supposed to DJ, right? Sometimes I would walk in there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and Fast Eddie is there already. You know, he would be there to set it up. And he would say, hey kid, come here. Play against me. Because he wanted to Wichita. And I would be playing and I beat him one time. One time. He was that good. Good. Seriously, he was that good. I just remember, you know, kind of Pachuco looking guy. You know, I just remember. Yeah, he was good. So go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I mean,
No. And then
those are
also,
memories that I remember about Malos that you know and met, like I said, you, Rick. You were saying on Friday and Saturday Pack, what other days were going on that were popular?
of course, you know, Sundays were they would offer, you know, menudo and watch the games and stuff, and you know, that was mainly jukebox and you know, whatever means of music we used to play from the DJ booth, you know, cassettes and you know 8-tracks and you know, it was nothing. And then on Thursdays, I believe it was ladies' night, and of course, you know, quarter beers or you know, dollar drinks or whatever. And the ladies who go there, and of course, you know, the ladies are there, the guys who show up, and you know, and I don't believe we had a Wednesday. I don't believe we had a Wednesday.
Well, because I remember they did some live music there too for a little bit. They would have Latin Experience come in and do some. I thought that was their Wednesday thing that they try to do the live bands and stuff like that.
I believe so. I don't remember.
Because I remember Joe Radon and Latin Experience and Lito and all those guys. I remember they used to play.
Alex Martinez.
Yeah, and then I just remember that because that's where I heard kind of the Latin influence, because obviously because Joe Radon with the congas, and they used to do Santana, that whole Santana kind of tributes and stuff like that. And I believe that was on Wednesday nights that I used to hear that. They would, and I don't think they didn't need a DJ per se. It was just somebody who could fill the music between the sets and stuff like that. So it was,
Right. I think that they would just throw in a cassette.
Right, and I think that's how that worked on Wednesday. It wasn't no DJ night or anything like that. But I just remember the live music. I remember that, and that's how I met the guys. Especially like Joe. Like I say Joe Radon because of the fact that he was, because he's still involved in
Right.
in a lot of the music now. But Sundays, I could have swore that was kind of turned into a Dusty night afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, they would play, the Dusties and stuff, but like I said, it was no so-called a DJ. They would just play cassettes or,
right.
Maybe once in a while they would have a DJ in there, go in there, and I remember, maybe once or twice I would go there on a Sunday.
But I could have sworn Magic Juan was there also DJing there on Sundays.
He could have been. I don't.
He was. I remember him being there. He was DJing there on Sundays, and only because of the fact that I remember I had to help him, get upstairs and set him up and stuff like that. Once he's there, he can do everything. But I remember always like helping him upstairs and stuff like that. I think that's why I it Juan, and it got pretty popular Sunday and stuff like that because it was, that's what people like to hear.
Right. And like I said, the Dusty music will never die. So.
So you DJ'd at Malo's, and do you remember the year, how long you were there at Malo's?
That was in the early 80s. I was there, and then you were there, I think early 80s, I believe, or mid 80s, if I can recall.
1983 is when I first started DJing there.
Yes, the early 80s, mid 80s. And then of course, Malo's faded. Everybody was sad. And then
I think we were Malo's until, I think that was because I was 15 at the time, and I believe it was 3 years span after that. I think it stopped in 86. I think that's when it stopped.
Yeah, because in 86, that's when I got married. So
okay.
And of course, you get married and the wife is like, it's my time.
So did you take a hiatus? Is that what happened?
For maybe about a couple of years, maybe I did maybe one or two mobile gigs here and there, but then back in the late 80s, I started DJing tea night at the Fire Alarm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The resident DJ was my good buddy Joel Cool Rodriguez, and some other guy named Stan. I can't remember his last name. They ran Fire Alarm, and of course, they did. That's when Trinier started coming in, all the early freestyle, the cover girls, and still you still had that disco funk area. John still playing. you know, that's what Fireland was. And I did teen night. So that's when the Madonnas came out, and, you know, Paula Abdul and all that kind of music. I don't know what you want to call it, but
Well, it was pop. It was pop
Yeah,
pop
pop
at the
music.
time. Yeah. What day was teen nights over there at Fireland?
uh, afternoon, late afternoon on Saturdays.
Okay.
Late afternoon. So it was like about 5, 6 o'clock, and it ran till 8, 9 o'clock. And Fireline was pretty wild. I mean, to get to the DJ booth, you had to go through 2 doors to get to the DJ booth. And so you had to go through the main door, had to get buzzed in. Once you got buzzed in, you walk a little bit, and then you make a right. And that was the owner's lounge area. And then next, there's 2 doors. One was his office, his private office, and then there was a little slim door to get to the DJ booth. And yeah, it was a nice booth, you know. And you know, back in the day, we used to play videos, beta videos. So you pop in a video, let it play, you know, and then play the music. So it was pretty wild. It was, you know, and you know, you were mixing and stuff, you were blending and stuff, and of course the teenagers were, you know, bopping, and if you want to pop, whatever, you know,
Right.
you know, kind of impress the young ladies and stuff. And I did that for a couple of years, and then it got old. It got old. And
Was it because you weren't playing your music? You were playing what was the current at that moment?
yeah, it was, yeah, you're playing what, you know, what
The
was
teens
current.
wanted.
Yeah,
What the teens wanted. Yeah.
exactly. No, it was like, okay. You know, it was like, okay, you know, I'm early 20s, mid 20s, and I'm playing teeny bop music, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. It's an income, extra income.
Right. It's a job.
Yeah, at that time, it's a job.
Yeah, okay, Boogeyman, that's what he says, a job.
It was a job. Oh man, and so yeah, I did that for a while, and then the '90s, I laid back for a while. I went to school, you know, started my IT stuff, and then with the family, I spend a lot of time with my family. So,
Okay.
like I said, a lot of mobile stuff, you know, here and there. Met a lot of interesting people, and as I said, in the '90s, I was more mobile DJ than anything. I wasn't the club scene.
Okay.
You know, like you said, you know, I still had till this day, I still have the passion, but you know, the passion doesn't go away. The passion will never go away. If a DJ says, "Oh, I don't have a passion for it," you'll still have that passion. You know,
Nice.
yeah, you know, I'll retire. Yeah, you'll retire in your eyes, but in your heart, that flame is still there.
Dude, you know how many DJs I see announced on Facebook that they're retiring? Like maybe 5 times in a row, or you know, just like nobody retires as a DJ. I mean, seriously, unless you these are gone. You know,
Yeah,
and I remember that, you know, somebody posted on Facebook, I'm retiring, and my comment to them was, again. They announced, maybe it was a marketing ploy, I don't know, but it was like, you know, and it's like, for whatever reason, I don't think we, you know, it's like that saying that what's his name, Scarface says, or what is it, Scarface or Al Pacino's is, I try to leave, but they drag me right back in.
Back.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is when it comes to the music, because we can have our hiatus how we want, but it's always something that says,
Come
and we
here.
right back. Yep.
Or that one phone call. Hey, bro, I need you to come and DJ at this event for me.
That's exactly right. So you go into a little hiatus after that. Where do
And
you?
then in 2007, I meet up with Joe Cooligan and DJ Rock the House, Gabe,
Okay.
and a place called Hedgehogs on Pershing. It's just west of Oak Park, and one of the DJs. They were looking for another DJ.
Okay.
So someone called me in, hey, why don't you try it out? I'm like, yeah, not a problem. I'll get back into the scene again, So yeah, I was there. Joe Koo was there. And Gabe was there. We would flip flop, I'll just have one night, either Friday or Saturday. And then that's when I started meeting a lot of bands, because they used to have bands in there also.
Okay.
And one of the popular bands was Caliente.
Mm-hmm.
They would always be in there. And
wasn't that a version of some of the guys, the old guys that were part of Malo's days that I was talking about? Didn't some of those?
Yeah. George Martinez, he's
right.
The of Caliente, Rick. What's his name? Oh God, I can't think of his name now.
You talk about the bass player?
Yes. Don't call him Jesse Tobias.
Okay, Jesse. Yes, Jesse.
A lot of people know him as Froggy, but he doesn't like to be called.
Oh, thanks for announcing it to the world.
Well, don't call him Froggy no more. It's Jesse Tobias. The man has a name.
You heard that, Froggy? and Rich said so that's why.
Hey, well, he'll probably thank me for it. Oh, thanks, bro. I don't like that anymore.
Hey, that's like telling somebody don't put your hand in the cookie jar. What are they gonna do?
Hey, oh well. Oops. Edit it out later.
No, this is live, dude. There's no editing. It's almost as good as Gino with the little kid in the background blowing the balloon.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's live, man. I was like, not to be mean or anything, but I was like, where's the pen?
Yeah.
Gino, I was just kidding.
Don't forget it. He would be like, Ma. And it would have been over for Gino. That was it.
So you were talking about Froggy? Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, part of the band, Caliente was there.
Yeah.
Latin Senso, and a few other bands that I can't remember. Were at Hedgehogs, and that lasted till about 2010.
Right.
2010.
So just to be clarify with the people that are there, I just want to make sure they understand the bands you're talking about. Technically, Northside had the salsa bands, and this was more of the South Side. They had the what do you want to call them? The Santana tribute, the kind of soul.
Yeah, the soul, the Rick James,
Right.
Some bands, I know. Caliente was more the Santana, the Latin beat,
Right.
Latin jazz. Yeah, they were again. They would play Dusties.
Right.
And then and then other bands would play, disco nights or,
Right.
you know,
And that's why I said a completely different from the North Side bands,
oh
which
yeah,
which were mostly merengue and salsa in the North Side, and then in the South Side they had its two go bands as we call them, the two go bands that were very popular, and they had
right,
I remember that because you go to the North Side, it was that group, that band. You go to the
uh,
South Side, it was that group and that band, and they had their following per se.
right, and they, and all these bands had their followings,
Uh,
and they would come. They'll play the same songs, but they would come.
yep, yep.
It's just everybody was just having a great time,
Oh yeah.
socializing and meeting up with friends, and it's just like now, you go out, you have a good time, meet with friends, and I'll get to that more later. And then after that, back in
We're at 2007 now.
2007 to 2010, and then from 2012 to 2014, a guy named Vito Sanchez gave me a call. He goes, hey, and he goes, and by then my name was already Malo. Hey, Malo, because, and if you don't know, people why they call me Malo is because of Malos. They
Oh, I
brand
thought you were just really bad.
no, no, no. Oh, you're the DJ from Malos.
Right,
Oh, you're
right.
the DJ from Malos. Oh,
Right.
you're the
That's
DJ from Malos. Hey,
so
and then after that, hey Malo, what's up? Hey Malo, what's up? So
right.
I was branded by Malo, and till this day, they call me Malo. So it's DJ Malo. So I DJ'd at this place called Auras. It was on 26th Street in Cicero. I believe it was 16th place. It's a little corner bar. A guy named Vito and his son Rick Sanchez. Hey, we got this bar. We're opening up this bar. It was a little corner bar, nothing big. Why don't you come on down and play some old school and Dusties and just give it a try. So not a problem. So you have a setup? He goes, no. We're like, all right, fine. All right, fine. So then I went in there. By that time, I was on CDs. CDs were out. And then, of course, it generated into the laptop. And playing old school and Dusties and stuff. And a few of his friends that came in there, Laura Flores, her husband, Javier, and a few other people. And they're like, hey, do you play Tejano music? I go, Tejano music. And I'm like, yeah, Spanish music. Like, oh, yeah, I have that. Now this is the first time I'm getting introduced to Tejano music. And I asked Vito.
Wait, you didn't know Tejano music before this?
No, this is, Vito never told me about this side of the world that I never knew. To me, at the time, when they said Tejano music, I'm like, yeah, it's, it's Spanish music, like Texas music. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I have some of that. Yeah, I got some. Now, in my mind, Tejano music is norteña music.
Dude.
The Ramon Ayala, the Tigre del Norte, which I grew up on from my dad. Yeah, I'll play some. No, yeah, no worries. I got a couple more songs before yours, and I'll play it. So here I am. Yeah, I'm gonna play some Ramon Ayala, Puntiera, and I'm like, I'm gonna knock these people's socks off. And they're like, they go, no, that's not Tejano music. That's not the. That day when I started that is like you never mix norteña music with Tejano music.
So,
That's
so
a
where were you DJing?
big no.
Where was that at? That you were doing the Tejano music at? Or was the
That
first?
was back in when I was at Auras in 2012.
Okay.
So and then I'm telling Vito, it's like, hey bro, I don't know what Tejano music is. He goes, really? He goes, I thought the norteña, the Ramona Yellas, the Tigre del Norte, the Los Miles, this is what I'm.
Well, my experience at Tejano music was I went to Pipiri Pao on Blue Island.
Oh yeah.
And that's where I knew about Tejano music, and I knew the text, and I knew it was completely like.
Yeah, exactly. They got, later on in the years with Mike Hernandez and stuff, he was big at Pipiti Pau and, and other DJs that were there. And I'm like, man. So the next Saturday, before I got there, because I know those people were gonna be there. I told you, man, give me some artists, give me some names, give me something, So that whole week, download. I don't know what the hell I was downloading. I was like, here's these songs, here's these artists. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. So come the following week, I was ready for them. But even then, hey, you got this song? I'm like, no, I don't have that yet. And then they would give me their phones, and I would connect it to the system and play their song for them. And it was just like, so that was my big introduction into Tejano music.
Okay.
And so after that, I've learned. And I've learned well from the Tejano side, and that's where we during that those years we formed Tejano Nation, Tejano Proud,
Right.
And we took that and back in 2014 to 2016, I moved to a place called La Finca in Summit on Archer Road, not Avenue, Archer Road. And I was doing the old school Dusties and with the bands Caliente, Latin Satin Soul, Moving On, and started knowing a whole bunch of these.
I ran into you there.
Yeah, you ran into me there because remember they wanted to bring salsa night and salsa classes.
Right. I remember you were, and we were trying to figure out the setup and the video and all that stuff.
Video stuff, yeah. Oh yeah, here, get this cable. This is what I use.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, no wonder. I remember that.
Yeah, and I bought that cable, hooked this shit up, and man, I ran HDMI cables all the way around to the TVs. Yeah, so yeah, I made that place live, dude, because and then Vito introduced me to a guy named Eddie Rios, who's a big Tejano DJ. He's an older gentleman like as me, but the guy knows his shit. But bless his soul. I mean, and we hit it off. I would play the old school and Dusties. He would play the Tejano music, and I would do a little set of Tejano music, and but yeah, that's how it was on Fridays and Saturdays.
Well, I mean, just to interject, in technical terms, there wasn't any other places doing Tejano music. You were kind of it. You were when it came to Tejano music, as far as people wanting to hear it or in a lounge or nightclub setting, you were it. That was you cornered that market per se.
And basically, yeah, I did. Within the Summit and the city. I cornered that market, and and I gained on it. If you wanted to listen to Tejano music, you had to either go to Aurora, you had to go to Joliet, or Melrose Park. You had to go to those areas to listen to Tejano music, And so basically, I moved on it. That was like, Vito and I was like, man, we can build something on this. So and we did, and Vito, he left the scene, basically passing me the baton, and saying, hey, here, Malo, you run with the Tejano music, and I need to move on. So that's what he did. He moved on. He moved out of state, and still this day we still communicate. Not often as we should, but we still communicate. So and we I moved on with Tejano Nation, Tejano Proud, having weekend stuff there with Eddie Rios and myself, and all I can say is Tejano people, you got to play the right Tejano music for them, and they're very particular on their Tejano music, which is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But like any DJ, if you're a particular genre DJ, you got to know your stuff. You got to know your stuff. You got to know what to play. And then the conjunto music started rolling in. So you had the Tejano, the conjunto music. It all blended together. I see all these hearts going up. And so then back in 2016, we were supposed to be there at La Finca, and we get there, and the place is pitch black. It's pitch black. I'm like, oh, the owner's not here yet. I'm like, all right, we'll wait a couple minutes. So we're waiting and waiting. Never came around. We're calling her, nothing. So that day, it's just like, and my friend Jim Coronado, he had moved, he had came by to come and check me out and stuff, and he's like, hey, Malo, what's going on, and I think I was gonna have him for a guest DJ, and like, I don't know, bro. So we were wondering what the hell happened. So, and at that time, during that time, there was a place on Archer Avenue called Fergie and Foz. And it was more a rock place. They would have Caliente once in a while. And so, I said, like, hey, let's go have a beer. Let's go talk about it. What we're going to figure out what the hell we're going to do. So we walked into Fergie and Foz. We sat in the corner, and like, we're still trying to call the owner of La Finca, no answer. And we met this bartender, I can't remember her name, and she goes, hey, we're figuring, as DJs, you're scouting out the place and stuff, and what kind of music they have here? And, oh, some rock, some, hard rock bands, and we have, some Latin bands in here, and some DJs and stuff, but I didn't see anything, posted or anything. So I says, so we asked her, are you the owner? And she goes, no, well, here's her card. Give her a call and see what you can work out. Dude, till this day, that phone call that I made to my good friend, very good friend, I love her to death, Dina. We hit it off. Hey, I'm looking for a place to DJ. The place down the block around the corner from you, Finca, they closed. What do you think? Let's trial and error. We do it a few months. If it works, fine, great. If it doesn't, then we'll move on. And till that day, back in 2016, I've been there and going strong. I helped Dina make that place, and I'll do anything.
And you're currently there until this pandemic hits us.
Well, Dina, she's an outgoing person. She's okay. Let's try it. Okay, let's try it. A lot of I have to say, a lot of bar owners and lounge owners. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to try it. No, they're set in stone.
Right.
And I thank God and for her to give me the ability to help build her place for her. I started promoting my own flyers. I do my own flyers. Met a whole bunch of DJs that I network with, Tejano side, old school side, bands that I've brought in. We started, what is that? Back in, I don't know, probably 17. We started bringing in the bands, Past Life, Reno Band, Mike Boogie and his daughter Blanca, awesome singers. Like I said, Past Life, George Garcia, and his fabulous singer Honeydew, Latin Satin Soul, Gabe Chong with Bright Star. Who else? Caliente, moving on. By then, Joe Vato, who used to do it at Finca, had moved on. He moved out to, I believe, Vegas. And Camino took place over moving on. And I created, we used to do, I still do, what I call it, old schooler and Dusty Lovers concert series, where I would bring in a band, every other month. And where I got that idea was people my age, there's not too many places they can go and hang out, get together, listen to a good band like we used to do in Hedgehog days and back then in Malo's and stuff. And I wanted to bring that out to the people, for the older crowd.
You're talking about bringing live music.
Bringing live music.
Right.
Bringing past DJs, Joe Cool, bringing, whoever, can't think of names right off the bat. And Tom Perez, Peter Aparicio, Mr. Latin House, who back in the day did Slammin' Saturdays, video streaming. These guys, Victor Salazar, and it's a funny story with Victor Salazar. That's my brother. Him and I got two good brothers, where they're not really my brothers, but I call them my brothers. It's Victor Salazar and Giz Rivera. Those guys, they're the ones that said they'll put, they'll pull your ear and say, "Hey, what the fuck you doing?" You know, those are the guys who's like slap you in the back of the head and to say, "Let's talk." You know.
We need those. We need those people in your lives.
Oh yeah, and you know, and they're DJs. They're great DJs and stuff. And
Right.
I did a lot of mobile stuff with Victor Salazar. You know, we hooked up and you know, did weddings and cotillions and you know, we mixed together. We brought out the video streaming, video DJing. You know, if people wanted, you know, or made a collage of their pictures and stuff. So, but I have to pick up Victor Salazar for that one day. We did a wedding up on Cermak. It was back in, I believe, 2013. We did a wedding. It was in a warehouse. It was in a warehouse, and it was 2 floors. It was 2 floors. Upstairs was like the reception area, and then it was on the 3rd floor, and the 2nd floor was the dinner ceremony.
Right.
And this was in the summertime, hot as hell, hot as hell. 2nd floor didn't have no air conditioning, none whatsoever. Where the wedding reception was at and the actual wedding. People were boiling hot, boiling hot. Oh my God. And there was only one elevator that fit maybe 6 people.
Ooh.
So our equipment was set on the 2nd floor.
For the,
You know,
for the dinner reception.
the dinner reception. And
Right.
no, and I believe it was supposed to be for everything. For the after the wedding reception, and we knew we couldn't have it up there, and so somehow, some way, the bridal party got a hold of the owner for the 3rd floor, and it was empty. It was empty. It was, but it had air conditioning. It had air conditioning. So here we are hauling the shit up the stairs because the elevator was packed because people were trying to get upstairs.
Okay.
And trying to get up the stairs because the people that decorated put all their stuff in the fire stairwell. So you had to maneuver around all this stuff. Oh man, I'll never forgive him for that day. But it turned out to be a great wedding. It was just like, oh my God. But I had to pick out Victor on that one day. I'm not gonna let it down. So. But anyway, going back to Fergie's, and so going through the old school nights and stuff, I had my birthday parties there, brought in performers, Darjay, Curtis McLean, and then somewhere down the line, we introduced the Tejano music. When we needed to bring that Tejano music back in, because the only other place at the time was by Ralphie. Ralphie used to do it at Redmond's on Archer. And so we built that clientele back in the Tejano scene with myself, Eddie Rios, Al Zamora, Mike Hernandez, DJ Pep, DJ Pietro. I mean, not Pietro.
That's me.
Perfecto. I'm sorry, Perfecto. Rudy Gonzalez, and we had DJ Buzz. You know, G-Man, E.T. Flores. All these Tejano DJs that I got introduced to, and you know, Victor said, sorry, LOL. But yeah.
Bad Rick.
Oh, yeah, we built a Tejano scene. And within that era, and it's still going strong, you know, within that era, I I came up with an idea, and at this time, now I'm being a promoter. I'm being a promoter
Right,
instead of.
okay,
So I'm like, man, I want to do something a little extra for the Tejano side. So I reached out to a couple of my friends that are, Tejano lovers. I go, what do you think about a Tejano boat party? Because at this time, PB&J, Mickey Oliver, all these guys are doing old school boat parties, and it's like, well, let me see how a Tejano boat party. So, I threw it out to a couple of friends. Yeah, try it out. Let's do it. We'll go. Dude, I threw the first Tejano boat party on the Summer of George, July 4th weekend. I believe that was in 2000, I don't remember, 17 maybe? Oh yeah, 2017. July 4th weekend. And myself, Rudy Gonzalez, Mickey Oliver, Adam Rock.
but with those names, that isn't all Tejano though, but you did,
Oh no, we kicked it as old school Tejano, like we did at Fergie's.
okay,
Kicked it as old school / Tejano boat party.
okay,
So it was a mixture because that's what we were doing at the time. We're still doing it as of now. We do old school and Tejano. We got that crowd which likes both.
right,
So, dude, we picked a date. Once we had the tickets, we sold out. Dude, I am not lying. We sold out within 2 to 3 days.
nice.
It was just unbelievable. Here I'm thinking, oh man, it's going to be a flop. I'm going to lose, and it was awesome. People had a great time. If you look at my Facebook page, you'll see the videos that I have out there, going down the river and watching the scenery. Is awesome.
Well, I'm interested. When did you decide to do the Malo reunions? That's what I'm curious about.
Okay, so that's, like I said, that's when I started getting into the promotion.
Right, the promoter.
A promoter. So my Malo reunion was the following year, April 2018. Me and Mr. Lattenhouse we got together and we're saying, hey, dude, let's do a Malo's reunion. Like, I don't know, man, I don't know. So I put that out there on Facebook and just to see what kind of drawback I would get from there, and got a lot of positive feedback. Yeah, I remember La Malos, yeah, and so I said, what the hell? So I called up my good friend Willie Ricon. He's from the Fuse band, and I says, hey, bro, I'm thinking about doing a Malos reunion, and I want you to play. I want your band to play. And he goes, all right, and we got a sound guy. And as a matter of fact, for the band, it was George Garcia from Past Life Band did the sound for the band. And some other guy did the sound for the DJs, which was myself, Mr. Lattenhouse, my good friend Jim Coronado, Devastating Dennis. We did it all up in the Malos reunion, in which I invited you.
Well, I'm glad you said that. and I turned you down, right?
Turned me down.
But why did I tell you? Why did I turn you down? What did I say to you?
Because you were going out of, no, you weren't going out of state. You had other obligations.
No. Because I went. I told you I want to go there to enjoy
Oh,
myself.
yeah, that's right. You want to enjoy yourself.
I didn't want to DJ. I didn't want to work. I wanted to see everybody and mingle and talk and be, part of the crowd, because for me, it was like, I'm going to be DJing, what that, and I even told you, I says, listen, I'll do the following one or another one that you do, but this one, because it's the first one. And then who do I see? My ex-wife there, this ex-girlfriend there, that ex-girlfriend there, that ex-girlfriend there. like I was like, oh my God.
You should have DJ.
Damn. Yeah, I was like, oh. Hey, do it like the old days. Or say, I'm busy,
Exactly.
sorry.
Where's the safest place? Behind the DJ. You can't come back here. You can't come back here. No, you gotta stay over there. You gotta stay over there.
But
see, I was doing you a favor, protecting you,
bro. Yeah, okay. But I know.
But that was a great time. I mean,
oh no, it was a great time. Trust me, I had a great time and stuff like that.
I sold that out, and
right.
Oh man, it was just the venue was it could have been a better venue. We had issues with the venue, but that's in the past. But the atmosphere and everybody getting back together again, meeting old friends and seeing people.
That's what I loved. Honestly, that's what I loved, because I haven't seen people in such a long time. Ex co-workers from Malo's days. Yaya,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because ironically, Yaya used to bartend over at Malo's, and then she was helping with Benji Espinosa doing the record business for DJ International Records. So that's just in general, Spot. I hadn't seen him in a long time and stuff like that. So a bunch of guys that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
But what I and you could clear it up right now. But one of the things is everybody kept asking, "Where's Johnny and Jimmy?" On the first one, it was all that, and then I didn't hear anything as far as that was kind of the murmur of the time. But then you called me in again, and you were going to have the second one,
right?
And then I told you, yes, I'm going to DJ for you.
Keep going back.
Right. Well, no, well, because I currently have an existing Friday and Saturday. I'm doing 5 nights a week, so I wanted to make sure and make sure that everything was set up, because trust me, there's plenty of times that I get booked for something, and a lot of times it's weddings and mobile gigs and stuff like that. But it happens every so often, and then as long as I plan it ahead of time, I got coverage. But the first thing I asked you, what about Johnny and Jimmy?
Yeah.
That was the first thing. So then you told me Jimmy was going to be there for sure. And that Johnny was dealing with his health issues and stuff like that. Right. And that's when I was like, okay, yes, definitely, because it wasn't this. Even though I loved it, what happened, it's still not the same without Johnny and Jimmy being there. Per se.
Of course.
So.
And just to clarify, the first one where Jimmy and Johnny was supposed to be, an issue arose where they couldn't come, and at that time I didn't know about Johnny's health issues.
Okay.
So, and I believe that was the beginning of his health issues, and that's why they couldn't make it. They were supposed to be there, but do the old Greg Brady line, something suddenly came up. So
so guys, you can stop asking me that question, because I didn't know. Rich cleared it up right there. So, trust me. Yeah. Oh my God, dude! I'm telling you, it wasn't so much as that night, but it was a question that was asked to me for almost like a half a year. Oh, where was Johnny and Jimmy? Where's Johnny and Jimmy? Where's Johnny and Jimmy? I said, I don't know, but they expected me to know because of me being my connection with Malos and stuff like that. And I said, oh, you got to ask Rich that. I don't know anything about that.
If they ask again, come tell them. Message.
Trust me. I mean, I think some people, didn't want to talk to you about it per se. It was, it wasn't being mean about it. I think they asked me because I wasn't the one doing the event. You were the one doing the event, and they felt like kind of like, well, maybe Angelo knows. Maybe he'll
Oh,
tell.
okay.
It's maybe
Yeah, you
maybe
wanna
Angelo
know that-
knows the inside or the back.
Yeah.
But I was very happy to find out that Jimmy. I knew when we talked about Johnny, and I hope unfortunately, because we all know because of the war issue, or the POW, or not
Right.
POW, the
Agent Orange.
Agent Orange. That's why he's dealing with his issues, and,
Right.
and we pray for him. Honestly, we pray for
Yeah.
him.
Please do. Yeah. I mean, it's
So
from
the pandemic comes around, and now we have to postpone it, right?
well, of course, the Malo's reunion too was supposed to be in April, right after Easter, and
Right.
of course, the pandemic came in, and everything came to a screeching halt. And back in I say from 2000 to now. Now I'm not only a promoter, I'm a DJ, and meeting with a whole bunch of good promoter people that I've run into and had the obligation of meeting. One of them, Al Batista from Astro Productions.
Yeah. Al.
He reaches out to me and, hey Malo, I'm doing this dance. You want to help me out? Can you DJ for me? I'm like, yeah, sure, not a problem. And we've done some not Summit, Stickney Fest. We had bands, Latin band Tierra, and then of course the local bands. And then in 2019, I believe, we did the Mother's Day Fest in what is called now SeatGeek Stadium, the Dome. He did a big event there with the Shy Lights, Tierra, of course, other local bands, and had my good friend Giz Rivera DJ with me. And just to be on the stage with those people is just unbelievable, with DJs, I know DJs that have been, with house performers,
Right.
Bass Daddy,
Chicago house tracks
Yes,
and stuff
the
like
house.
that. Yeah.
But to actually be on the stage with, great performers, the well-known performers like the Shy Lights and, Tierra, and just to talk with them and meet with them is just amazing, and it's just a love and passion of music that everybody has on that stage. And big props to Ruben Perales with all of his sound and lighting, and man, these guys, it's just unbelievable. And,
Well, I mean, now it's come to a halt because of this pandemic, and it's it's unfortunate. We've gone an hour and a half. I know time flies quick. I let you talk.
But a couple of things I just wanted to bring up, and it's pretty amazing that how my life has been around the DJ world, and to see guys like you that started up in the teenage world, while I'm in my 20s and stuff, growing up to be young teenage DJs, to now who's an adult and have that passion, and they're an adult, they have family, and to see these guys grow, and it's a blessing for me, such as yourself, my cousin Jerry Negretti, DJ NRG, Wesley the Wiz Tagger. He was a young DJ when I met him. Even Gino Rock and Romo, fabulous man, fabulous guy. Yourself, Angelo Cristobal from Mac Entertainment. All these guys, they grew up just like I did, doing the DJ scene and being, for the love and passion of music, to be out there and enjoying what they do. And now they're an adult, and I don't want to say that I inspired them or anything like that. I have the joy and pleasure of watching these guys grow up and going through what I've seen or went through. It's just a blessing. And there's a lot of other DJs out there. DJ Heido with Myra, Maniac. These guys that I have a list of guys. DJ Babalu, Mario Reyes, John Hernandez, Rich and Mike Huerta, DJ Nito, like I said, DJ Heido, Cortez, Frisco, Frosto, and that network connection is great. For me, I have an open door policy. You want to come and DJ with me? My door is always open. But I'm going to treat you, and I'm going to tell everybody, I'm going to treat you fair. I'm not going to do, if we're doing gigging together and it's a paid gig, I'm going to teach you and treat you 50-50. It's none of this 70-30, 60-40 crap, 80-20 crap. I don't do that. I don't do that. It's 50-50 down the line, because you have to come here, I have to come here. We want to do what we love to do, but I'm going to treat you fair, and and I expect the same from, and I get a lot of respect from guys like that. Peter C. He DJ'd with me one time and with Heido, and we made some money, and he thought he was only going to get like $75 or something like that. He walked out of a place with, I think, $135 in his pocket. And he called Heido and Myra, and he goes, "Hey, is this right? Is this right?" And this was the first time he DJ'd with me. I got more than what I expected. And Myra had told him, I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's how Malo rolls. He's I'm there for the passion, dude. I'm there for the passion. I love the music. I love the DJ. Whatever music you want to hear, I'm going to play it for you." And and same thing with what Gino was saying. Stop the bashing. There's no reason for bashing. Everybody's there. If you're a real true DJ, you're going to do it for the passion. And yeah, you expect to get paid, but you know what? You're gonna get your money, and in the long run, it's gonna pay off. Right. So, for me, I'm like what Gino. I just tell it like it is. There's no sugarcoating it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to lead to DJs that are "Hey, can I DJ with you?" "Yeah, sure, come on."
Well,
and
a lot of
Fergie.
I was going to tell you, a lot of the guys that you mentioned, obviously, I didn't send you the whole list of people that I'm got, but most of the guys that you mentioned, I got on my show. I am talking to them, and the beauty with the DJ aspect of it, and what you're saying, that's why I created this show. Honestly, that's why I created this this avenue to let people talk about, just like you're talking about, and I think that's kind of everybody's kind of
Consensus.
that we are a family. I don't
Yeah.
care. What is that saying? Someone, I was watching the movie, The 5 People You Meet Before You Go to Heaven, right? That movie. And what does the guy say? Strangers are just friends until we meet them, or I forgot how he says it and stuff like that. Yeah, we are strangers, but we are just, friends before we meet, before we meet. And I think that's true to every DJ, because especially I run into that all the time, talking to the interviews and talking to people, that we all have a connection, and our connection is there.
Right.
And I think that's, I don't know. I mean, I heard you guys mention about the bashing part of it. I'm not sure who they are. I hope it's nobody I know personally. Honestly,
No.
I hope it isn't. But if it is someone that we know, I hope someone messages them that in front of the whole crew of people and say, "Hey, man, don't do that. That's wrong. Don't do that."
And with these newer DJs and stuff, do what you love. Do what you do you. Don't worry about everybody else or
Right.
who's watching you or who's talking crap about you. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time. You just do you, and be honest.
Cool.
Be straight up and honest. Do you, and trust me, for these younger DJs, you're gonna go a long way, long way. Look, 43 years, bro. I have a lot of respect for people, and I respect a lot of people, and tons of followers, and the passion is there. The passion is
Right.
always going to be there, and yeah, it's just do you, just
Yeah.
be you, you know, you know, you know.
Well,
That's
Rich,
why,
that is it for a show. I hope you, I know time goes quick in this. A lot of people don't realize how quickly this goes and stuff like that. I let you talk a little bit more because I know we had a lot to talk about. Or you have history, so that's why I let you talk and stuff like that. But any last words before we leave? Any last words to the audience per se?
yeah, and well, right at the end, we're doing this pandemic stuff, and God bless all you guys. Please be safe, and to all the DJs that are out there. If you don't have, take care of your family. Put it this way: take care of your family. If you don't have life insurance, and you're relying on income from DJing and stuff, but yeah, what happens if you go and you don't have life insurance or a backup plan for your family? Go out there, spend the extra $20 a month. At least if you go, your family's satisfied. They're taken care of, instead of them worrying about, oh man, what am I going to do now? A lot of DJs they don't. I'm like, wow, you don't have coverage on yourself, bro. It's like, and I'm not trying to sell anything here, but I'm not an insurance guy or anything. But
I was gonna I was gonna say, are you trying to sell some insurance?
No. I just say, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, dude. And as far as, especially with this pandemic that's going on, if you go back out to the clubs again, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. Don't expect it's going to come back. Bam, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have all these people in there, all these big crowds and stuff. I don't know.
Until they come up with an actual vaccine.
Yes.
That's I think that's the consensus.
But even then, and as a promoter, you do events, where you have 300 to 500 people at your event. God forbid if a few hundred get sick because of one person. Now that people are going to come back at you and say, well, I got sick at that event that you thrown. I'm going to sue you. And, you know, now you have that liability on yourself. So if you're a promoter, you know, give it a second thought. I mean, really, really, I mean, yeah, you get your $1 million liability, what do you call it, license and,
Right.
you know, insurance. But still, you know, why would you want to have that headache on your shoulders, or that monkey on your shoulders? Damn, I just got 200 people sick, and because they came out to my event, and half of them died. You know, for me, I wouldn't feel great about that. So it's going to be a whole new world out there. You know, are you going to pass your microphone so someone can make a speech at a wedding?
There's going to be a lot. I know there's going to be a lot of we don't knows, and there's going to be a lot of how are we going to do the new norm, as they call it. We don't know. We don't know anything. We can't predict the future. We didn't predict this for sure, or should I say, we didn't predict it. It was predicted that this was going to happen, but we weren't prepared for it, and that's the really unfortunate part about it. Nobody prepared for it. You know, it's just, you know, I remember we all hearing it all the time. Hey, a pandemic's coming, pandemic here for years. Oh my God, not just us, but I'm talking about the government, the country, everybody heard about a pandemic coming. It was, as they said, it wasn't a matter of, it wasn't a matter if it was going to happen. It was a matter of when it was going to happen. And it's always been said that for years, and we weren't ready. That's the truth. Nobody was ready for it.
No, nobody was.
And for it to, and that's all our faults per se, and that's why we're dealing with what we're dealing with now, and that's why we're dealing with all these deaths that are happening, because it's just, the fact is that we weren't prepared. And if we were, there would be a vaccine already made for this per se. It would be
go to your doctor, go take a shot, and
there would be just a glitch per se. Yeah, like okay, you know what, you know, it got averted, you know. But I get it, and it's tough. You know, I know we're not. You're gonna piss off some people, and you're gonna please some people. It's gonna be a tough balance of how we're gonna move forward, especially in the entertainment business and the nightclub business and the promotion business and stuff like that. DJ business, it's affecting us. It will affect us and stuff like that. So, in closing note, Rich, DJ Malo.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for all the great stories and your history, per se, the 43 years. Somebody asked me, what's your nationality? Somebody wanted to know. I guess there was...
Mexican American, just like you.
Well, you know, I'm Spanish and Mexican.
Yeah, I know that. See, yeah, we had that conversation.
Yes.
I'm just like you and what's his name, John Hernandez. Yeah. I can speak Spanish just to get me by, but
yeah. So that's right. Yeah, and I think that's good for us, because I want to think that, because I don't speak Spanish like as my first language per se, it kind of helped me to not look at it as like, oh yeah, well, I know what this is talking about. For me, it was absorbing it, all the music, all the different styles of music and different languages of music. And you just kind of like hear it, and you're like, that sounds good. I don't know what they're saying, but it sounds good.
It sounds good. Right.
You know? And I think that I don't think we let the music control what sounds good. It has to sound good, period. No matter what language it is.
And just to let you know, I was trying to, out of my cast of thousands of music that I have, I was trying to dig out your 2 CDs. I have them somewhere, but I was going to pull them out. I'm like, see, remember these?
You have 2 of the 5 that I made?
The very first 2.
All right, cool. Hey, all right, Rich, don't go anywhere. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, we got a lot of, every day, 8 o'clock. Talk to you. Thank you.
Angelo, thank you, bro. God bless.